Hello, I'm Camelia and this is KiniNews. In a slam dunk that would make an ostrich lift its head from the sand, Lawyers for Liberty takes aim at Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's understanding of the proposed constitutional changes to citizenship laws. Lawyers for Liberty has criticized Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's perceived lack of understanding concerning the proposed amendments to citizenship laws in the Constitution. Zaid Malek, director of the human rights NGO, drew a comparison between the Prime Minister's comments and the proverbial ostrich burying its head in the sand. Zaid expressed his confusion and dissatisfaction regarding Anwar's seeming obliviousness to the serious consequences of these proposed changes for stateless individuals. Zaid said it's puzzling and unacceptable that such ignorance should be displayed by the Prime Minister. He also questioned whether Anwar inadequately briefed on this matter by his team or if he consciously avoided the issue. Zaid's comments were in response to Anwar's statement that the proposed constitutional amendments to citizenship laws should not spark controversy. This refers to the proposition to revoke Section 1(e) under Article 14(1)(b) of the Federal Constitution. This section currently awards citizenship by operation of law to individuals born on or after Malaysia Day within the Federation who is not born a citizen of any country otherwise than by virtue of this paragraph. Various civil societies have expressed concern over additional clauses in the amendments, warning that they could have detrimental effects on the lives and futures of orphans, foundlings, and other stateless individuals. Further elaborating, Zaid condemned the proposed amendments as heartless and cruel, asserting that they would drastically escalate statelessness. Swinging the legal hammer, Lim Kit Siang's team hands Anwar Musa a ticking 14-day time bomb over riot-related allegations. Lim Kit Siang's legal team has issued a letter of demand to former Minister Anwar Musa. This is in relation to allegations connected with the tragic racial riots of May 13, 1969. Sangeet Kaur Deo, the legal representative for the veteran DAP member, verified that they have delivered the legal notice to Anwar's residence yesterday afternoon. Sangeet said the letter pertains to defamatory statements Anwar made publicly about their client during his speech in Bachok, Kelantan on July 5th, as reported by Malaysia Kini on July 7th. She emphasized that the comments, incendiary and sensitive, were entirely without merit. She also told Malaysia Kini that their client has requested a retraction, an apology, and a sum in damages. Should these demands not be met in 14 days, they have instructions to initiate legal proceedings against Anwar. Efforts are underway by Malaysia Kini to contact Anwar regarding this issue. Lim previously said Anwar has now joined PAS, and his first act has been to emulate PAS President Abdul Hadi Awang in making outrageous and unfounded allegations. This rebuke came after Anwar claimed in a speech that DAP had a significant role in the riot and continued to stoke the fires of Bumiputra and non-Bumiputra issues. As evidence for these claims, Anwar referred to a book allegedly containing Lim's speeches. Lim, however, has denied the existence of such a book. Senate President Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar called for the introduction of laws to impeach the Prime Minister when necessary. The former minister said impeachment of the Prime Minister is not something the nation has in its rules. However, it should be introduced as it was done in England in the 1800s. During a keynote address at the Political Stability in Hung Parliament Forum today, Wan Junaidi also called for the opposition leader to be included in the tabling of a private member's bill. In addition, he also called for a fixed parliamentary term law to complement the anti-hopping law. Not a boycott, but a strategic retreat. MCA and MIC are painting their election no-show as a masterstroke in coalition politics. Contrary to interpretations of their decision to refrain from the upcoming state elections as a boycott, both MCA and MIC have defended their decision as a strategic one. MIC Deputy President M. Saravanan clarified that their decision was based on the assessment that UMNO has a higher likelihood of victory in the constituencies assigned to BN. He described this approach as aligning with the spirit of Cameron Highlands. Speaking to reporters after the BN Supreme Council meeting in Kuala Lumpur last night, he said Cameron Highlands used to be an MIC constituency, but they stepped aside to let UMNO run. This is because the party believed UMNO had a higher chance of winning. He referred to the Cameron Highlands by-election in January 2019, which transpired after C. Sivaraja's victory was declared void due to corruption allegations. In that scenario, MIC had allowed Ramli Muhammad Noor to run as a direct BN candidate, bypassing BN component party membership. Saravanan further elaborated what matters to MCA is a BN victory and stressed there's no boycott. Conversely, MCA Deputy President Ma Hang Soon underscored that the party would actively campaign for BN candidates during the state elections. Ma said BN had a fruitful meeting and both parties have explained that they will assist BN candidates with their campaigns. Last week, MCA and MIC announced their decision not to run in the 6 state elections scheduled for August 12. MCA explained this move as an opportunity to concentrate on reform and revival in preparation for the 16th general election. Is this a case of counting chickens before they hatch? Bersatu President Muhyiddin Yassin's poultry farming pursuits ruffle PKR MP's feathers. Bersatu President Muhyiddin Yassin's recent foray into poultry farming has drawn criticism from a PKR MP. Lee Chien Chung accused the former Prime Minister of being oblivious to the struggles faced by the less fortunate. The Petaling Jaya MP argued that Muhyiddin should recognize that not everyone has the luxury of owning a farm or the permission from local authorities to keep chickens. Lee said Muhyiddin ought to realize that not all have the privilege of owning spacious properties like his to accommodate 30 to 40 chickens. Moreover, not everyone can indulge in poultry farming without attracting penalties from the local authorities. At a recent political rally in Seremban, Negeri Sembilan, Muhyiddin boasted about his farm's ability to produce 40 eggs daily to counter egg shortages.
Nak tunjuk boleh selesai masalah kalau kita usahakan sendiri, tapi tak semua ada orang ada kawasan tanah yang boleh memelihara entah 30-40 ekor ayam dalam satu masa. Tapi itu satu daripada cara penyelesaiannya. Tak mungkin semua boleh buat begitu. Jadi persoalan yang agak bangkit sekarang ni, what is the government of the day? Baik di Negeri Sembilan ataupun di pusat, dengan menteri-menteri yang banyak madanon di situ, buat untuk menyelesaikan masalah ini.
Identifying egg shortages as one of the current cost of living issues faced by the public, Muhyiddin based his claims on a survey involving 1,200 participants. Though he didn't explicitly reference the survey, it is likely linked to a recent study conducted by the Institute Masa Depan Malaysia, a think tank established by Muhyiddin and ex-Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad in 2018. High stakes and hefty figures. Malaysia prepares for parliamentary showdown over a midterm review of the 400 billion ringgit 12 Malaysia plan. In September, a special session of Parliament is set to convene for a midterm review of the 12th Malaysia Plan, an initiative that was introduced by former Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob in 2021. The notice of this midterm review, which will take place on September 11th, has already been distributed to lawmakers. The Parliament's schedule following the review involves a series of debates slated for September 12 through 14, with responses from ministers set for September 18 and 19. Leading the review efforts is the Economy Ministry under the supervision of Minister Rafi Ramly. In the build-up to the special parliamentary session, Minister Ramly has held numerous engagement sessions. In a previous parliament meeting in March, Ramly shared that several international institutions, including the World Bank, have been involved in the review process of the 12 MP. The 12 MP, a 5-year strategic plan, was originally tabled by then Prime Minister Ismail Sabri in September of 2021. It included a significant financial commitment of 400 billion ringgit earmarked for both existing and new development projects. Economy Minister Rafi Ramly steps into the fray of the rising cost of living, advocating for a progressive wage policy despite its unpopularity, in a determined effort to shield the public from the economic pressure. Economy Minister Rafi Ramly has stated that implementing a progressive wage policy is a necessary precursor to addressing the rising cost of living in the country.
So this is the first time that you have a government that commits to increasing salary. Sebab yang ini nanti lepas ni akan orang bising pula lah. Oh, naik gaji nanti harga barang naik pula. So either way, but we understand that when we talk about the economy, we have to do both sides. While we increase, kita tambah kapasiti pengeluaran makanan, dapatkan lebih ramai orang bekerja dalam sektor industri moden, macam pertanian moden, kita juga tak boleh lagi daripada menaikkan gaji.
He made these remarks after a forum titled Hard Talk, The Economy, On Track or Sidetracked, the International Malaysia Law Conference, which took place at the Shangri-La Hotel in Kuala Lumpur. He candidly added that this is probably the least popular initiative he has embarked upon in his capacity as minister. Rafizi emphasized the necessity of public awareness regarding the long-term impact of government subsidies, as well as the government's capacity to maintain these subsidies to mitigate the rising cost of living. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.